Hello everybody, happy Thursday. Having my coffee talk with y'all. Trunks up everybody, right? Always go trunks up. I have not been live on this page in way too long. It's been a long time. And you know, I thought the only thing I can do to change that is go live. So I'm going to. I have too much goodness to share and I'm shaking up one of those good things right now. This is my Olive Rose primer. It is the Pearl Primer Serum, to be exact. And I'm using my mirror over here. So if you're hopping on, say hi, tell me where you're watching from. I am in Ormond Beach, Florida, and it's like 70 here today. So if you're somewhere colder, don't brag. I miss it. I miss it horribly. I like the 4 seasons and we don't have them. So look at this gorgeous stuff. When we have a seasonal day, I'm thrilled. All right, here we go. It's very pearlescent looking and you can actually wear this by itself if you chose to do so. I always suggest using a primer. I think it's just like painting a wall. Would you do that without priming it first? You wouldn't. And this is no different. I absolutely think it's the first step. Now, I've already done my eyes and everything. So I'm just going to be doing face products. This is phenomenal. It is the first and the only hydroxytyrosol based skincare and makeup line in the world. So I'm 68. Don't know about you, but if you're in that general vicinity, your skin, excuse me, needs as much moisture, and not just moisture on top, but deep hydration as it can take. I've done a very deep dive. Why? People ask me this all the time. Why in the world are you doing this? Well, why not? I mean, you know, I love these products. I love sharing. My family would say I just love talking in general. So, and they're probably right. Quick fact, and I have to keep moving because I have 2 really special friends coming in about an hour that I grew up with in Hopkinsville. So there's that. But why am I doing this now? There's another little story. Okay, of course there is, Catherine. Primer first. It is just a one shade fits all primer. Now this is the skin tint. This is the magic, and it is, you know, if you like a real heavy duty full coverage foundation, this is not for you. This is going to give you definitely buildable coverage. It will be a full coverage foundation, but if you like the more pancakey, and nothing wrong with that, the very matte look, this is also not for you. I think personally, and for most people I know and most people I see, at this point in life, matte is not your best friend. If you can pull it off, go for it. If you aren't thrilled with what you're using, listen in. All right. So anyway, when I was at Alabama, and it's a 1 pump and done, and I'm going to use a makeup brush. You can use your fingers. I've done it that way. You can use a beauty bud. I don't love applying foundation with a beauty bud because I think the bud actually absorbs some of the product. Now, that being said, I will sometimes take a slightly damp beauty bud and just press it on my face before I put on the finishing touch. But for my purposes, I'm using this. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you can do just 1 full pump. The shades are very easy, forgiving to match as far as that goes. I can help you with that. All right, let's get back to my why, because I think that's important. I've had so many friends. Number 1, do you live in your car? I don't. I'm in my car a lot, whatever. I like to get out. And I am going to share what I love. As I said, when I was at Alabama, and I my freshman year before I had to declare a major. And you can see I'm tapping. You do not want to swipe. Honey, swiping is going to find every wrinkle that you have, I promise. So tap it. Just tap, tap, tap. And one pump, and I'll usually go back in with a little bit of a second pump to cover specific areas. Anyway, when I was in Alabama, I had a choice of, obviously, we all did, choosing your major. Well, I have to look in this mirror, y'all, sorry. It was going to either be education or communications, and I chose education, which I absolutely loved and did it for close to 35 years. And I got to communicate too, so I felt like it was win-win. Well, after those 35 years and after I retired, number one, it was COVID, so that was fun. It was definitely an adjustment for me. I had worked for so long and I loved what I did, and I realized that I still needed to do something. So this girl who had never had any experience with social media because I'd just been too busy, finally had time to sit down, and I didn't even realize, this is how not aware I was. I did not realize that people sold products like this and talked about them on social media. I didn't do TikTok, I didn't look at YouTube. I led a very cloistered life, obviously. Well, after doing this, I did partner with a company called Unique, and I'm still with them. They're wonderful people. There are some products that I enjoy. I will say that I have moved on to different skincare. Yes, I'm using my fingers now because my nose is just constantly kind of red. It's lovely. If you have, but that's it. Hello. That's it. It's skincare. It is skincare on your face, pretending to be makeup. I don't know where I was with that. Anyway, I'm going to go back to sharing. So, oh, I know. I was on the social media thing. About a year ago, it was a year ago in December actually, that I partnered with Olive Tree People. Now, Olive Tree People is the company name. Within the company, there are several different lines. There is Oliveda, which is the one that I use. There is LA Dope, which is a CBD-based skincare line for very sensitive skin, acne-prone skin. The one I choose and use is more obviously geared to my needs at this point in life. So I am thrilled with the products. I've seen amazing changes in my skin, and I also take the internals, which is where I personally think it all starts. It's not. It is not. I look at internals as being the foundational piece, because if everything starts inside, you know that. With your gut health, with your immune health, with your joints, all of that. So I absolutely feel like I have been very lucky to find this line, and you know, you're never too old. I mean, you're only too old if you think you are. And obviously, I've chosen to not think I am, and I love it. And guess what? Been kind of successful doing it. So, yay me, and yay you for tuning in today. I'm excited. This is, let me read it correctly, Serum Hydroxytyrosol Skin Tint. We're not calling it makeup, although obviously it is. And it obviously covers quite well. This is the second incarnation of this line. They did a skin tint, work on those words, and they went back to the drawing board, did a completely different packaging, which is fabulous, and changed a few of the ingredients to make it more user-friendly and more long-lasting. And it does. I've tested it, I've road tested it quite a while now. Okay, recap. Serum, the primer, and then the skin tint. I wear shade 3. the shades are very forgiving, and there are quite a few of them. So I can send you a skin match quiz. And then if you need help, I'll be happy to help. Okay, so like that took all of 2 seconds, right? I'm not doing bronzer and all that. We do have those shades. All of that is available. I have ordered the concealers, 2 different shades, and they're a little bit back ordered, but they're coming. So I can't wait for that. I will show you the 2 shades of blush that I've gotten. This one is Seashell Rose. It's beautiful. It's light. It's a rosy shade that I am obsessed with. And then this little puppy came yesterday. Don't let it scare you. It scared me initially. It's called Rosewood. It's to die for. Honestly, I had a few comments at the ball field last night. Imagine that. Griffin had his last regular season baseball game, and somebody was saying, "Oh my gosh, what color, what blush is that?" And it was like, your skin just looks kind of, you know, airbrushed-ish, whatever. But I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay, so I like putting it on my finger and warming it up. I think this is really pigmented, people, but don't let it scare you. I am just going to tap it here. Now, I'm leading it up into my temple area for a couple of reasons. One is I want it to have a nice little swoop going up, and you don't want to start in the middle of your cheek because the apples have fallen, y'all. I hate to tell you. Look at that. Just one little, I mean, did you see how little I used? And you can use this on your lips and your eyes too. Okay, so there's that. I'm gonna put a little bit more. Oh, I got the wrong one. It doesn't really matter. You can blend, you can do you. Rosewood was out of stock for a bit. It went, and these only launched after New York Fashion Week. There were several designers in New York City that partnered exclusively with Olive Rose, which is the name of the makeup line. And so they haven't been out that long, and Rosewood flew out the door. But this is just so subtle. Can you believe that a shade that pigmented just does a little bit? Now, obviously you can go heavier if you want to. And I'm gonna add just a little. Getting back to the temples. As we age, this part of your face actually becomes more narrow. So taking the product up, everything needs to go up, right? I mean, just like Mother used to say, I wish I could just take all that extra skin and just put it up here, like with, you know, a rubber band or something, and call it a day. And now I know what she was talking about, but this might be the next best thing. So, yeah, and you can see I am still tapping, but I'm also spreading it up. And depending on the shape of your face, I will say that I have a long, narrow face. So this blush placement is correct for me. If you're not happy with the way that your blush looks, because you don't want to walk in the room with your blush showing, you know? I mean, that is just not what we want. But, so placement can be important, but I just think it's gorgeous. Now this shade is so pretty, and it's really light, and you could absolutely use it above this if you would like, as like a little glimmer shimmer right above it. Also, fancy figuring this out, you can use our primer as a little highlighter too, because it's already got the glow. So it's a multi-purpose. You don't have to have 15 products to get a full face. You just don't. And I like the idea of the fewer, the better. And I'm just gonna put it right here on top of that. And you can see that it absolutely gives a little illumination. It's perfect. I really love this. And I have been wearing makeup for 50 years. Harken back to the days of Arnold's in Hopkinsville, y'all. It was a fabulous store. We were talking about that at my reunion. How lucky we were to live in such a tiny town with these great stores. And Arnold Myers, it was a family-owned business, he and his two sisters. And I adored Miss Sarah, his sister. But Arnold and his wife, Stella, lived next door to my grandparents. So I literally grew up going back and forth from their house to my grandparents' house. And it was just a cool store. Anyway, they had the very first Estee Lauder little counter. And oh my God, you would have thought it was stellar. And it was a very cool store. What a loss for Hopkinsville to not have them anymore. Anyway, I'm going to show this on my lips. Now, don't freak out because you can go definitely darker with this, but I'm just going to put it on with my finger. And it is a gorgeous, it's a very fall shade. It's kind of a rusty cinnamon. And because of the hydroxytyrosol base, just pat them together, honey. Don't swipe. You will find lines you wish you hadn't. I'm not kidding. And I'm going early, just sort of neutral, although now I'm building it. Whatever. I love it. You can certainly add a liner later. I do like a good liner. But this is such a pretty look and it's so easy. Now I'm going to go in with our, it's our version of a lip gloss. Let me see what we call it. I know it's the Olive Rose. It's a hydroxytyrosol lip butter in the shade Love Letter. And we do have a clear one. But I love this one. It's really not gonna change the color. Oh my God, y'all. When you put on the skincare, number one, and you feel the difference immediately, you're gonna be obsessed. And the biggest part is you're gonna see a change. And it'll be a change for the better. Because, as I said, the key to this whole line and this whole company is the hydroxytyrosol basing of it. And hydroxytyrosol, I always am showing, it's not, olive tree people. It's not olives in the skincare line, people, at all. Now, the origin is in southern Spain, where there are groves and acres and hundreds of acres of these very specific olive trees in southern Spain, and that's where the source comes from. They take the leaves from these ancient olive trees that can live up to 4,000 years old. They are only irrigated with rainwater. And they take the leaves and they do this cold press, and a serum is created called hydroxytyrosol. That's where it comes from. So your products are not starting with water, as most companies have. We are the only line in the world that does this. It is starting with pure skincare. And we don't add fragrances and we don't add preservatives, because honey, if your first ingredient in your skincare is water, you're paying for at least 70% water, not to mention the preservatives to keep the water stable and the emulsifiers and all those chemicals. I don't want any of that, because if you think your skin is your biggest organ, all those chemicals are finding their way in to it's systemic. So educate yourselves. Look at hydroxytyrosol. Look it up. I would suggest some very neutral websites. Obviously, you can use Google. There's one called PubMed. There's one called NIH. All of these are reputable, and they don't care how much makeup I sell or anything like that. You're going to get the brass tacks, as my grandmother used to say. You're gonna find out the truth, and we're happy to share it. There's no hidden agenda here, no gatekeeping. Now I'm gonna end it with the Skin Glow Setting Spray. And I'll tell you this, I come home sometimes between my morning stuff and my afternoon stuff, or my afternoon and evening. You need a little refresh. This is what I'm using. Okay, about 12 inches, maybe 10 inches from your face. Close your eyes, close your mouth. Now, any fragrance is natural, and it will feel kind of damp, and then it dries. And it just enhances the glow, and it protects what you've done to your skin, and it keeps it nice and fresh, just like you like it. So if you have any questions, reach out to me, please message me. Do it privately if you don't want to do it here. And I will look forward to talking to you. I can highly endorse it. And oh, by the way, on our skincare, we have a 365-day return policy. I don't know anybody else that does that. And we do it with a lot of integrity and efficacy, and we're very transparent. So I think I like it. Take care, everybody.